Howdy, eggs. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your friends and family are doing well and everybody's staying safe during this tough time right now. I have a project for you guys, okay? As I saw, a lot of people are just missing a good old-fashioned hug or high five as we work on our social distancing and staying home and all that good stuff to try and help the spread of coronavirus. I thought about something that I think would be relevant for you guys that I want you to do, please. When 9/11 hit, which you guys were all born right around or right after 9/11, it was a terrible tragedy. I wish it never happened, but it was probably the best thing that ever happened to my generation because we responded. We'd never really been challenged before. A lot of us decided to serve. A lot of us gave blood, got involved with nonprofits. New York City changed where people were just generally nicer to each other than they had been before. Obviously, the airline industry changed and all that good stuff. And the economy kind of went to hell there for a little bit. So what I want you guys to do is track somebody down. It doesn't have to be 9/11. You can go further back. The Gulf War, though relatively short, was 1991, early 90s. Vietnam, really tough time in our country. Different things that happened. 60s were pretty tough. Going back to World War II and the Depression, probably a little harder to find people. But I want you to find somebody who's lived through those times who's older than you, whether it's a parent, grandparent, and I want you to talk to them about how they felt when it happened, what their take was, how they handled it, how they think their generation handled it. One thing that I did when my grandmother was still alive, who served in World War II, was actually ask her which was worse, 9/11 or the attack on Pearl Harbor that launched us into World War II. And her answer was 9/11 because a lot of the world was already at war when World War II happened, and there was a growing sense at some point we would enter the war. So again, horrible travesty when Pearl Harbor was attacked, but 9/11 was an attack on civilians, and she felt that was far worse than what happened with Pearl Harbor. And that was a great perspective for me and helped me kind of work through that process. So I want you guys to find somebody and talk to them about how they handled a really tough time like this, although we've had nothing quite like this in about 100 years in terms of a pandemic. I want you to talk to somebody and see how they went through it. Pick up the phone, video chat, FaceTime, whatever, but or if you can, sit down face to face, 6 feet apart at least. And I want you to talk to them, and then do a blog about it. Just be a Word doc or whatever, and I want you to write kind of how you feel, what you learned from talking to them, and how you're going to handle things moving forward. Because believe it or not, we're going to look back on this as history, and we're going to look at your guys' words to see how you felt about this when it happened. And hopefully it's not the same issue, but something's going to happen in your lifetime that's going to be a challenge, whether it's the economy or personally or whatever. 5, 10, 20 years from now, it's going to be your guys' turn to solve these issues, okay, and deal with these things and be in the workforce and solve those problems. So be happy that you're getting an education because we're counting on you guys down the road to handle these things. So please reach out to somebody, talk to somebody about something that's happened in the past, do it safely and social distance and all that good stuff. And then go ahead and write down, some of your thoughts, feelings, and anything that you learned. Please do that for me. And my goal really is I hope it helps you. I hope it helps you talk to somebody, connect with somebody, and maybe you learn something. All right. Take care of yourself. And believe it or not, I do miss you guys. I miss seeing you. I can't imagine that you miss my stupid round face, but you might. So maybe even some of the sophomores who really don't like me. So please reach out and do that and see if you can learn a little something, and hopefully it'll help you feel better for making a plan for the future. Thanks, guys.